What's up? We are not in Iowa anymore. We're in Switzerland. That's right. I left Thursday, local time Iowa, 4 a.m. It is now Friday, 5:45, local time Switzerland. Just now getting started. I'll get into maybe some of the issues, but it hasn't been a smooth trip so far. This is one of two TTx's in Europe, as I understand, red and white. It just finished some solid instrument flying, so there's TKS all over. You can see it dripping here, so we'll have to clean that up. You can also tell how hazy that gray is. Maybe not right now because it's black, but you can definitely tell there's sanding marks and holograms, obviously a lot of exhausts. So step one, we're going to clean it. You'll be able to better see the paint condition. Step two, paint correction. Then we're going to apply some paint protection film as well. Remove some of the old stuff that's on the nose gear and get it ceramic coated. Good morning. First full day in Switzerland. Got some work done here last night. Got the plane washed, all the top surfaces. Did some test panels. Ended up polishing the whole right wing, the whole right front cowling, and we pulled some paint protection film off the bottom as well. So today we need to work on the underside, get that cleaned, polish the rest of it, and maybe start coating. We'll see. I may have alluded to some difficulties yesterday. I'm ready to share that story now. So, yeah. So here's what happened. In Europe, they use 220 volts, 50 hertz. Okay, that's what comes out of the wall for power. In America, we use 110 volts, 60 hertz. So, a lot of products like phone chargers, that kind of stuff, they're dual voltage. Doesn't matter what goes in, right? My battery charger for the Milwaukee polisher, the rotary, not dual voltage, so I need a voltage converter. The Rupes, same thing, not dual voltage, so need a voltage converter. So I got this thing off Amazon, piece of shit, put it on converter mode, and I had the foresight to try this. So first thing I did, I got here, plugged this in, plugged in the Milwaukee charger, literally it went poof, a cloud of smoke came out, and it was done. So I got a suspicion that this in converter mode is not converting. It also has an adapter mode where it's really just a plug adapter, but in converter mode, 110 volts should be coming out. Pretty sure that didn't happen. So now my two most important tools, the polishers, are unusable. I'm scared to plug the Rupes into this because I don't want to blow up a $500 tool. So it's Friday evening in Switzerland, and then I need to find a new charger or a voltage converter. So I start looking at who sells Milwaukee stuff, start calling them. There's a bit of a language barrier because my German isn't that great. And I found a store that sells it. Put it into Maps. Maps takes me to that store's corporate headquarters. Shit. The store closes at 5. It's like 4:45. So luckily, one of the employees at that store is like, "Hey, I'm on my way home. Just follow me. We'll find the real store." So he kind of points me to the real store. Get in. Find a European version with the Euro plug. Plus 2 batteries, like 350 euros. Damn it. But at least for future Euro jobs, we are set. I'll just not use the Rupes on this job because I don't have a way to safely use that without blowing that tool up too. So yeah, this is gonna be rotary only job. But that was pretty stressful. So I didn't actually get started on the plane until 6 p.m. And lost quite a few hours and maybe a few white hairs developed just in that process. But anyway, today I'm going to get started on cleaning the underside, and then we'll continue polishing. So you see how the light is kind of streaking out? Those are holograms. So that's from too aggressive buffing at some point. There's also a bunch of sanding marks underneath there. So I'm guessing that's why they were trying to buff out. So I'm going to do a two-step paint correction on this. We're going to start with the wool pad and then soften it up with the yellow Rupus pad. So wool pad, rotary, hyper polished. Now we're going to switch to the yellow Rupus pad. Yellow pad, hyper polish. So with my first pass, the heavy wool pass, I went left to right. With the foam, I'm going diagonal. So if you remember the holograms, they were kind of in all directions. If I wipe this up and I see holograms running in this direction, I know that my finishing step wasn't aggressive enough to take those out. If I see holograms running in this direction, my finishing step was too aggressive and left holograms behind. So now we're going to wipe it and see what the surface looks like. So this looks pretty good. My first step is aggressive enough to remove the initial defect. My second step is gentle enough to not leave any holograms behind. So we're going to do that on the rest of the plane.
The next morning, we start with some panel wipe. Panel wipe is an alcohol solution that removes any polish residue or oils that might be hiding in the paint. And after that, we can start coating. Coating is wiped on wet, and we kind of work in anywhere from a 2 to 3 foot square area. Wipe it on, make sure it goes on evenly, and then we use microfiber towels to remove the excess and make sure there's no streaking left behind.
So usually we do the beauty shots when the whole plane is done, but it's probably going to be dark by then, and I still wanted to share what this is going to look like. So let's do a quick beauty shot of just what is coated right now. Back to coating.
Now before I could start coating the wheel pans and the other areas where there was PPF film or paint protection film applied, I needed to put the film on first. I don't want to put film on a coated surface because it's going to be too slippery and the film's probably not going to stick very well. So we sprayed down the areas that are going to receive film with a bunch of slip solution, which is basically baby shampoo and water. And then we kind of roughly fit everything on, slide it around as needed. Then we start squeegeeing it down kind of from the middle and push that water out to make sure that the film is sticking where it needs to be. Now this part was pretty easy and it looks great. The real challenge comes when you take a two-dimensional sheet and you attempt to wrap it around a three-dimensional object, such as the wheel fairings. So lots of slip solution on the film, on the wheel pant. That kind of gives you a good start and sets yourself up for success because you're going to be moving it around quite a bit. But the slip solution also keeps it from sticking, and for a curve like this, you really end up having to stretch the film in order to, work out any creases or wrinkles. So my strategy generally is to start with an anchor point. So first we fit the film against a reference. So in this case, we kind of use the top edge as a reference point and make sure that the bottom lines up too. And we kind of stretch it because you want to make sure that you don't exceed the dimensions after you stretch it. And as you can see here, I'm just kind of pulling and trying to see where that film wants to go. Once I feel pretty good about that placement, I'm going to squeegee out the water in a certain area and use that as an anchor position. So we're going to lock in where that film is sitting, and then from there we can start kind of getting the easy parts done first, and then it's going to be a lot of just stretching and squeegeeing and stretching and squeegeeing, and maybe apply a little heat to soften up the film to ultimately get this to fit. I'll readily admit I'm not super good at this. This isn't something I do very often. The car PPF or clear bra installer guys are going to be probably cringing at how long it takes me to do this, but they're also probably not usually doing this on their hands and knees underneath an airplane wing. After everything got covered with film that needed to be covered with film, I was able to coat the rest of the airplane. We coat right on top of the film, so the film gets the same protection and ease of cleaning. It makes bugs come off quite a bit easier. So this was a very fun job. There's a lot of challenges up front, but big improvement in the airplane appearance and ease of cleaning afterwards. Got a few beauty shots coming up here. If you enjoyed the episode, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up. We can trick YouTube into thinking that aviation detailing is the hottest thing happening today. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.